Hello, welcome back to my channel, to the Witchy Reader. So I have a new kit for microphone and stuff for my YouTube channel. Hopefully it'll make my channel better. I haven't completely set it up yet and everything. I'm waiting till my desk and desk chair comes, which will be next week, I think. No, this week. I think it's like at the end of this week. So yeah. And I'm excited to finally set that up. But I want to go ahead and test out my microphone, and I'm loving it. So yes, this will be a new thing for my channel. So very excited for that. But I'm going to be talking about my March wrap-up. It's been a hot minute since I've done a wrap-up or a TBR, which I will do my TBR next. But it's been a hot minute. I know that I haven't been filming much. There's a lot going on, a lot of not so great stuff. I was having a really hard time, but we finally moved and things are slowly getting back better. So I am going to try to start filming more. I'm getting things ready for to set up for my channel. I am waiting till I get more stuff from storage, like my books, and then I can get bookshelves and then I can start filming in front of my bookshelves. But I'm just waiting because at the moment I don't have it. But yeah. But I'm excited to talk about my wrap-up. It's been a minute since I've done a wrap-up. I didn't read like a whole lot, but I read a good amount. It's more than I have been reading, because like I said, there's been a lot going on. But I have a lot that I want to read, so I'm very excited for my plans. So the first book I read, which I actually started several months ago, but I couldn't finish it because, a lot of things were going on, and I ended up in a slump despite the fact that I was, very much enjoying this book, and that is One of Us is Back, which is the third and final installment of the One of Us is Lying trilogy. So I absolutely loved the first book. I don't know how much I talked about it on my channel when I first read it. The second book was good. I didn't love it though. It's definitely my least favorite of the three. But this one I loved again. It was so good, and there were things I did not see coming, and I absolutely loved it. And I have been obsessed with One of Us is Lying. And I'm desperate for any books that give me the same vibe, because I'm not big. I like mystery, like I like watching mystery, I like Pretty Little Liars stuff, but I haven't really read that much mystery. Now I want to find more stuff like One of Us is Lying, but I don't. So if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know down below. I would love for more books like One of Us is Lying, because I absolutely loved it. But so it follows because the first book followed 4 characters: Addie, Bronwyn, Nate, and Cooper. The second book, even though they would show up here and there, it didn't actually follow any of them. It followed Bronwyn's little sister, who you did meet in the first book, obviously, Maeve. And what was the other? Knox, that's his name, I couldn't remember his name for a minute. And Phoebe. Which I don't know. I just couldn't. I don't know. I feel like, they weren't bad characters or anything. It's just I wasn't, like, a huge fan of them. Like, I didn't care as much. And I also think the story wasn't as good. Like, the Truth or Dare game and stuff. Like, don't get me wrong. It was still good. It still kept my interest. And there were definitely things that I did not see coming that had me, like, anticipating and stuff. And some very good twists. Don't get me wrong. The ending was very good. There were some very good twists I did not see coming. But yeah. But this book follows Addie from the first book, Nate from the first book, and Phoebe from the second book, because she's hiding stuff from that she found out in the second book, part of the twist at the end. So it follows her. It also follows Addie because Jake is getting out of jail, and it follows Nate because I think he's a fan favorite, and he also had a lot to do with helping Addie and stuff. I absolutely loved Addie and Nate's friendship. Like, I think you see a lot more in this one than in the first book, and they had gone really close, and I absolutely love their friendship. I also love that you find out that Addie actually has a crush on a girl now, which I think is awesome. And yeah, I love the book, and I feel like Phoebe's story still kept me interested, but I didn't care about her chapters as much as Addie and Nate. I love those characters. Addie's my favorite character. Like, I'm obsessed with her. She is amazing, and yeah. But it was really good, and I highly recommend. So the other books I read were more like really short, kind of kids books, like junior novels and stuff, mostly that has to do with Monster High. There was Monster High, Welcome to the Great Scary Reef, Monster High, Fantastic Friends Forever, Monster High, Great Scary Reef, the junior novel. Great Scary Reef was my least favorite of the original movies, but I found a couple books and I was like, sure, why not? Monster High, Freaky Fusion, the junior novel, Price Camera Action, the junior novel, White Eagles Fall in Love, Monster High, Haunted, the junior novel. Those were all quick books. And I wanted to kind of catch up on my reading goal a little bit, and I was finally getting into reading a bit, so I was like, okay, I'll read something easy to get into my reading goal, and I love Monster High, so it was a fun time, and I did enjoy my reads because I love Monster High. And then I read the first Hunger Games, so I don't know if I actually ever read Hunger Games. I don't remember, because I was never big on dystopian. I know I've seen the movies, but I was like, I'm not actually sure I've read the books. Like, if I did, it was only once, so I don't really remember them at all. But, yeah. So I read the first book, loved it. I have read the second book. I just finished it, but it was this month that I finished it, so technically not wrapped up for March. But I'm throwing it out there anyways. But I liked it. I mean, it's not something I absolutely love. Like, it's not something I will be obsessed with, but I do absolutely love Peeta as a character, and I do love Peeta and Katniss's romance, like 10 out of 10, 100%. But I wanted to read the trilogy so I can read Songbirds and Snakes, and then the new one that just came out. What was it called? Sunrise on the Reaping. So yeah, because I obviously haven't read those yet. And I haven't watched the prequel movie yet either. And I was like, okay, I could watch the movies after I finish the books. Because I haven't watched the movies forever. Because, like I said, I've never been the biggest Hunger Games fan. I am liking them more now than I guess I never really got into them when I was younger. But I'm still not like obsessed with them. But I do like them, and they are fun reads. And like I said, I love Peeta. I love Katniss and Peeta together. So yeah. I am excited to continue the series and find out what happens with Snow and Hey Mitchell stories. That would definitely be interesting. And yeah. And so this is an update while editing. I forgot to mention, for some reason I was thinking I finished it this month, so I wasn't going to add it in the wrap up, unlike I did Catching Fire because we were talking about it, but I actually finished it last month, so that's my mistake. I thought I finished it this month, but that is book 3 in the Ashes Chronicles, which I beta read, and I love it. I own the first 2 books. They're both signed. The first one is in storage. The second one was just sent to me at this new place, so I have it. It's across the room and I don't really want to get up to get it. But the third book is not out yet, but I read it and I loved it. It was my favorite of the 3, and it gets more into the fantasy elements, which I'm always here for. And there were definitely twists I did not see, and it was so good and exciting. And I love these characters, their friendship, their romantic relationships as well. I love all of it, and it's definitely a great read. And I definitely highly recommend it. Like I said, it's very different because the first one, even though like there was the main character talking to animals, it wasn't really that magical, but like in a fantasy way. And then the second book does introduce a ghost, so it gets a little bit more into the like paranormal, but this one definitely gets more into the fantasy elements. And I don't want to say how, because it is a spoiler. It also gets a little bit into sci-fi at the end with a twist, but I don't want to say that either because it's also a huge spoiler and the book is not out yet. I do plan to do a review for it soonish, and I'm going to try to make it as spoiler-free as possible since the book is not out yet. I do not want to spoil anything. So yeah. So I'll let you know when that gets out, and yeah, so. But that's all I read in March. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment what you read in March. I'll chat with you guys below in the comments. Until next time.